evening, everyone. This is the Michigan City Port Authority Board of Directors meeting, January 13th, 2020. I'd like to wish everybody a Happy New Year. This is our first meeting of the new year. Hope everything goes well for you all year. Keep good health. That's the important thing. Okay, we'll start off with the minutes. Approval or correction of December 16th, 2019 minutes. Any comments from the public? Any comments from the board members? Do I have a motion to okay the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's passed. Let's have a report from, I see we don't have any guests here today, so we don't have to worry about comments from the public. Tim Frame, you want to start us off with your report?
Sure. All right, 200 dock progress. Larson Danielson is within 4 slips of finishing the 200 dock portion of the project. So they still have the walkway to do and about 50, 60 feet of the 200 dock, and they expect to have the 200 dock finished this week. They've been doing about 16 feet a day. So their goal is to finish the 200 dock section this week and then start on the walkway. And the rate they're going, if the weather continues to cooperate, they'll easily have that finished by April 1st. We've taken all the Christmas lights down. One of our winter projects now then will be to restring some of those lights. Over time, sections of the rope light go out and you can splice it for a while, and then at some point it's just easier to replace it. A lot of times we try to do that in the fall, but then usually there's other things going on in the fall, so we're going to make that a winter project. We're also getting ready to paint our barge and spiffy that up, so we built a specific rack to set the barge on. In the past, we've been setting it on jack stands and blocks, and it's a little awkward because it's flat on the bottom and it's kind of wide. So we've got a new rack for that, so that'll be commencing towards the end of this week. We got the rack about finished today, so I think tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to put the barge inside and then let it warm up and then start painting it. We have a meeting Thursday with MB Electric. That'll be our pre-construction meeting for the 800 dock electric project. We got our approval back from the city on the EEO package, which was the last thing we were waiting on. And so Colin has set up a meeting for Thursday. And I think that's about it for now, unless anybody has any questions or comments.
Any questions? Any comments? Okay, thank you, Tim. Mary Ann.
I actually don't have any reports yet tonight. Just came back last week and be glad to ask any questions, answer any questions if anyone has them.
No questions? We'll move on to Garrett with our budget and financial oversight.
All right, this will be probably the one and only time I will do a line by line, just because there's 4 items. So, the first top one on here is for Noel Brothers for $95.75. That's fuel for our trucks. The next one down for $301.91 is our phone. And then the $443.62 is water bill, and the big one, $7,587.61 is our NIPSCO bill. If you add them all up, it's $8,428.89. And if there are no questions, I will make a motion that we pay our bills as presented.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And then one other item, just since it's the beginning of the new year, we need to transfer $647,233 from our operating budget into our capital improvement fund. It's the leftover.
Yes.
Why the number is so much larger than it has been in previous years is because of the gas for sale, resale, equipment repair, maintenance repairs, and professional services amounts were larger than normal. as in a leftover because of bad weather at the beginning of the year. We weren't buying fuel. We weren't, selling any, so we didn't spend any of what was in the budget. So because of that, the number's larger this year, and the addition of more slips being sold last year. So will it be that way next year? Who knows? But
I think that's a very good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, normally we only put like $500,000 in, so the more we can put in that, the more we can do.
yeah.
So,
If I can, I'll make a motion that we transfer that money in from our operating fund to our capital improvement. Project.
Second.
well, we've got a second. All in favor?
Aye. And that is all.
Motion passed. John Haynes, do you have any claims and insurance?
I have nothing.
Nothing? Okay. And Sam is not here, of course. I don't really have anything on port operations or personnel marina policy in place of him. I spoke to him, and he said he had nothing to report. So we can move right on to Dan Messina, who is not here, Motor Communications and Special Events. And we can move to me now because Master Planning Special Projects and Park Liaison, I have nothing to report also. Let's go to Agnes Mears for Advertising and Public Relations.
I have nothing to report.
Okay. Well, we got to get some information from our attorney, I'm sure. So
Happy to provide.
let's talk to our attorney.
As you may recall from the last meeting, we had talked about a draft of an amendment to general provisions of the rules and regulations regarding refunds. You may recall that one of the options that a slip holder would have in the event that the water level rose too high for the slip to be safe or for some other reason was that they would be able to apply the money that they had paid for the slip for summer storage. And then Mr. Johns pointed out, well, we may not have enough storage. So I made a change to the proposed change to insert the words, provided there is storage space available. And then everything else remains the same. I've got copies of the revised refund policy.
I think that's the only change you made to the refund policy.
That's correct.
Is that correct? So we've all seen the other information that was already available to us. So that's the only change we made, and I'd like to entertain a motion to the board's pleasure.
I move for approval.
Second.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the draft passes.
And then the only other issue I have is our annual report to the board of directors concerning compliance with the internal control policies and procedures is due on February 28th. The committee that Mr. Ferguson appointed is myself, Mr. Ferguson, and Mrs. Meir. I would plan on, in the next week or so, scheduling a meeting so that the committee could talk to staff and go over some of the issues that might arise in connection with the annual report. And that's all I have.
That's simple. That's just for our rules and regulations, right? Is that what that meeting's for?
Well, it's the internal controls policies and procedures where we go over and see if there are any issues that have arisen over the course of the preceding year that might lead to, say, fraud or waste or abuse or things of that sort, and make sure that our controls are in place such that when the state comes in and audits us, we're in compliance and we're doing everything right.
My question for you is, do you feel that we should have a committee look at the Board of Directors handbook also and go through that and make sure we're in compliance with that? Or if there needs to be changes to that, we could have someone make recommendations for changes to the handbook, because I know we've passed a few things that had to go into the handbook, and I'm curious as to whether we should take a good look at that issue.
Yeah, I think that could be helpful to the extent it impacts on internal controls, and I think it does. That would be a good suggestion.
Okay, so maybe that committee can look at that also?
Mm-hmm.
All righty, thank you. Okay, any questions for the attorney? No questions? Let's go on to new business. Is there any new business? No new business? How about old business? Any old business? Yes.
Got a question for Mr. Muir. Did we get a final answer on the chamber?
Yes.
You want to go ahead and renew?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We are renewed.
Good. Good job.
Okay. Any other old business? Yes, recognition. We have no guests. I guess we need to have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion. We adjourn.
Got a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, that was a quick meeting.
Yeah.
That's
Short and
11
sweet.